Little Simeon, he's touched so many people. Even before he was born, the amount of people that showed interest in him and were asking for him and were praying for him all around the world, it was incredible. Basically only had two options. And she said the first one was what they call compassionate care, which means that the baby is born naturally whenever he was ready to be born. And then we could take him home, if he was well enough, we could take him home, and he would more likely die within three days or so. And the second option was multiple surgeries, which meant that very soon after he was born, within a few days, he required to have his first surgery, open heart surgery. And the second one when he was about 3-4 months old, and the third one when he was about 2-3 years old.
We came to the agreement that we wanted to give the child every chance we could at life, and just, if it meant surgery, it meant surgery. And that's what we were praying for then, really, is that everything would be clear once he was born.
Like the smile on your face, and he just told me the news and that yes, he's a candidate for a surgery, and gosh, I was so happy, just crying with happiness, And I remember even Noah was telling me, even if he hadn't opted for the surgery, once he was able to hold him, and he said he was completely smitten, by this little baby. And he said, even if he hadn't chosen surgery, I would change my mind now, because there's no way I want to let go of him. So we were over the moon with that news.
The second time you've seen your child since he was born, really. And here he has a big opening in the centre of his chest where it's wide open because the pressure in his system, they have to leave the cavity open so that the swelling can go down. And all there is an iodine gauze covering it, so you can see the little heart beating and under it and everything. And the child is maybe
so
2.5, 3 times his size because of all the extra fluids and because he's been on bypass and
attached to so many machines,
and
ventilator.
The lines coming out of his chest, just full of blood and
in his
different liquids coming out of
attached to his stomach. Yeah,
it
was a lot. It's a total shock.
It is. It's very traumatic to see your child like that when you come in first time and it's just after coming up from the OR. It's just.
It was awful. I think more than ever, we became aware how
fragile he is.
Yeah, and what a reality it could be, for anybody with a child with hypoplastic left heart. You see a lot of suffering. You see devastated parents. You see, I know people look at us and think that how did we do? How did we get through it?
How did we cope with it so well?
And we look at other families and think how
lucky we were in comparison.
And how do they cope? Because no matter how bad your own situation is, there's always somebody who is having it tougher, and we saw a lot of that.
Gave you a new life in baptism and made you a member of his church.
And Simeon's kind of been part of our parish family since before he was born. When we first got word that he wasn't doing so well in his mother's womb, and the family asked for the community to pray for him, the community really rallied around, and he became quite famous even before he was born. Everybody was asking me, oh, what's the news about Simeon, how is he getting on? This was before he was even born. That particular prayer every week would have been centred around Simeon and for all who are working hard, the caregivers, the doctors, nurses, the medical professionals, all those who are working together with mums and dads like Anu and Noel to build a culture of life, you know, a culture of welcoming.
It would have been very difficult without the support and prayers of the community and family and friends, and they've been all incredible, you know. I just can't help it, but it's just hard to imagine life without Simeon now, you know. It's just every day has been such a gift, and it's just changed our lives for better in so many ways, and the joy he brings, and just the depth he's added to our lives, you know. When there's a baby with a severe disability, there is often abortion mentioned by somebody on the road, you know, and one of the consultants did, you know, put it on the table for us, but that was never an option for us, and that is the exact reason why, you know, because even with all his disability, he's just never been a burden to us. He's only brought joy and blessings into our lives, and we wouldn't change it for anything. In a lot of ways, it's probably been the toughest times of our life the last year. It definitely has, but in a lot of ways, it's been the most enriching experience as well, and it's something that you'd never ask to be in a situation like that, but when it happens, there's a lot of good and positive that comes out of it as well. I'm looking forward to him growing up to be a big man, and fairness, like really bursting with pride, because he's our little superhero.